You can see me. I'm just gonna check. I don't know what happened there. It just sort of thrown me off. The minute I logged into the back end of the system, it just thrown me off completely. I can see I'm live here. So hopefully now we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on everywhere where we need to be live at. Do let me know in the comments if you can see me so I can have some feedback from you that you can see me. Just a sip of my coffee. I haven't got much coffee left, so I have to have very small sips. Right. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get started, and I am. Oh, Millie's here. Oh, thank you. Hi. Can we say hi? So we're on Facebook as well now. I can see. Brilliant. Sue saying see you. Star bleeding. Hello again. She says. And if anything happens, like if this happens, I always sort of go back in the back end, and then come back in. I just need to need to close the 100 different windows I got open here right now. So just give me 1 second. I very quickly restarted the computer as well. So that anything like that happens, but sort of my go-to thing to do is to very quickly shut everything down, restart the computer, because you don't know, like there might be some gremlins in the system itself, and maybe something was in the computer. I'm not quite sure, but give me just 1 sec and then we shall get started. So I'll talk you through at the same time. So today what we're going to be doing is the Serenity bracelet, and what I have done, which I kind of sort of explained earlier as well, that when Christmas is coming up, it's really good to make all sorts of different decorations, and I love using my jewelry making skills to do home decor, like anything from a candle holder to a bauble or wall hangings. Everything is sort of different things to do. However, what I also love to do, which is what I did today, is with the bracelets, and I'm giving you 24 different color options. The you heard it right, 24. We got 24 different gemstones here to kind of sort of be able to make presents for people. And I know you know this stage because we've done it before and you all loved it. And with adding the gemstones in, it just makes that little bit extra special. I love working with gemstones, and I think when I make a present for somebody, I do love, and especially if I know that person likes carnelian or likes obsidian, or I'm just looking at all the gemstones, or howlite, or fluorite, or amethyst, whatever gemstones they like. When you make the bracelet with, like, I'm not saying not just the pearls or crystals, because they can be really beautiful as well, but when you like put the gemstones in there, it just makes it that little bit extra special. So that's what I did today. We got 24 different color variations here. I actually love each one of them, and I was sitting here earlier trying to think which one am I going to be demoing with, because the one I demo with is usually end up in my own little jewelry box upstairs, but I do really love this stitch. Right, okay, so I'm going to have to speed up a little bit so we can get through everything. Hello to everybody. I'm not going to say hello everybody singly, because I just really want to get on with the demo, but I hope you can see me everywhere now, and hope everybody can join in. Right, okay, very quickly gonna pop you over to the website, and by now you know the drill. Actually, let me go back, is one more step. So totallybeads.co.uk is the website you need to go to, and then from there, let me just click on the main thing, go back to the front page. From here you're gonna go into learn jewelry making and jewelry making, and then we have got loads of different things going on here that you can kind of check out, and different kits, different projects, different tutorials. What I'm going to going in is video tutorials. We have got hundreds and hundreds of video tutorials going back a very long, we've been doing this a very long time now. And then we have got like as you're scrolling down, they will be more and more coming up what we have been doing. And today we're doing the Serenity gemstone bracelets. Now I'm going in here. We're gonna have to change this link later on for the right video, but we'll do that after it ends. And you can see we have got all these different gemstones with different colors of seed beads and crystals. And I think sometimes that is the hardest thing to do, is to choose your colors coordinating with the gemstones what you want to use. So that's and that's what my favorite job to do, is just sort of play with the colors and put them together. So we got loads and loads, 10% off on everything at the moment until stock lasts. I think some of them we got more, some of them we got less, but we should have good stock of all of them. And each one of those is going to make you one bracelet, because you're using the gemstones on both sides. So it's a really nice little project to do. So I'm just going to go into the amethyst one, but I'll show you them in real one as well. So you will be creating and we'll be creating a bracelet with it. So you get 6-meter round gemstone beads, size 11 Toho seeds beads, 3-millimeter round crystals, 2 Strand sliding clasps. I beg your pardon. It's gonna make 2, not 1. I just took it off from the website. But if it's got 2 clasps, he's going to make 2. And yes, because you space it out. Oops, my mistake. I'm telling you, porcupines here this morning. It must be well, anyway, let's get started. So I'm going to come down to the mat and I'm going to show you each one of them separately very, very quickly. So then we can get started. Right, where is my mouse? There we go. So we're going to zoom in so you can see. And this is like, I'm going to move my microphone out of the way here so it doesn't interfere. So we got all these different colors. I just love it. I just love putting it down on the table and just kind of looking at them. Isn't it nice? Like all the unity with the different colors, sort of going from one direction to the other direction. So I'm gonna go and gonna show you them. I'm gonna lift them up. How is the order on the website? And as I'm lifting them up, I'm gonna sort of clear them off the mat so we can YouTube is already acting up. Yolanda saying, I have to look into this. I'm not really sure what's happening there, but just bear with us. Lucy's saying, I love them all. I love them all. I want them all. Now that is a rainbow. Yes, absolutely. I just love these colorways. I love to do like, I don't know, a table or a picture or something like that. Some sort of wall art to have sort of color grading going from one corner to another. I think that would look really good, look fabulous. Right, okay, so first one is the amethyst, which is this one. So with the amethyst, I kept it kind of sort of purpley, and where is my camera? It's good because I got a slightly different setup. Are you gonna focus on me or are you focusing on the background? It's focusing, oh, there we go. Maybe I took it too closer. So that's the amethyst. I still got different setup at the moment. Hoping my blind is coming. I got a window over there. My blind is coming sort of next week, and after the blind is come, I can kind of have my normal lights and everything else back up. Okay, next one is the bloodstone, which is this one. The magnets are sticking together. I love this one because it gives you also where camera. Oh, this gives you. Come on. Focus on me. It gives you all sorts of different colors in there. So this is perfect. Something like this is perfect because you got greens, you got teals, you got pinks, you got magentas, you got sort of creamy colors in there as well. So something like this, what's good about it is that it will go with most of your outfits. Next one is the blue highlight, which is this one. So this one is more sort of into the turquoisey colors. There we go. Come on, camera. Maybe I need to move to a different, that way. Different sort of setting, but I love this one as well. I love turquoisey colors. Next one is the blue tiger eye. Where are you? That's here right at the end. So it's still tiger eye. So I'm just going to bring this up. This is tiger eye, and it's going to come up later on again. So this is tiger eye on the right. And this one is blue tiger eye. So it's still the same material and it has got that sort of, can you see that sort of it's like cat's eye beads have it as well, but cat's eye beads are made of glass. So the tiger eye beads have that shine in them. That's in the gemstone itself, and then that's just sort of a different color within it. Right, so next one, I'll leave this here, put that at the back. Next one is the carnelian, which is this one. I reckon this is going to be Camille's favorite, or maybe this one, or the dark carnelian. I love these colors, very sort of nice and just put a smile on your fiery colors. Next one is the cloudy fluorite. So I love this fluorite because this is like, I don't know, it reminds me like a sort of candy floss, really. It comes in a sort of predominantly sort of pinks, purples, a bit of sort of a creamy yellowy color in there, and the teal color in there, but it's sort of like it's a cloudy, yeah, probably that's probably like a haze to them. That's the word I was looking for. There is a haze to the beads, and I really do love that about them. Next one is the Dalmatian Jasper, which is this one. This is such a classic one, Dalmatian Jasper. I think that's one of the first gemstones I worked with, oh my god, like 20 years ago. But I really do love this, very elegant. And this one is using the black diamond seed beads. So you got your seed beads and you got your crystals in there as well. The dark carnelian. Love both carnelian, Jenny's saying. So this one is darker. It's sort of like a burnt orangey color. That's what I love about it. But I have put sort of a shinier orange with it. But in real life, it really comes along like it's sort of glowing out of the beads, the seed beads. But I think that's just the camera, how it's picking up the color. In real life, it blends together really nicely. And it's not too much because it's always about the amounts, like how much you put together. So if you only put a tiny bit of lighter color in your design, overall it's just gonna make the darker looks a little bit more darker and just sort of enhances it. Right, next one is the fluorite, which is this one. I love this one. I love the fluorite color. So here what I done, I chosen sort of a darker blue seed beads to go with the fluorite, but more of a tealy color crystals. And something like this is quite interesting because if I have chosen a purple color crystals, it would be picking up the purple colors more from the bracelet. If I have chosen a more of a, you know, new, like a blue color, it would be picking that sort of colors up from the bracelet. Lucy's saying, good luck choosing, ladies. Too many nice colors today. I just really wanted to have like a green aventurine is next one. A really sort of a nice wide range of colors on the website. So when you're thinking about doing Christmas business, and you know, like, you know, one of these bracelets you can make in an hour. So, you know, you can make them really special ones today. Green aventurine. I love this one as well. And it's the seed beads are seafoam green colors with it, which is really Mukite is the next one, which is this one. I added purple with this, so I wanted to pick out the purple colors from the Mukite, but then the crystals themselves more of a like a creamy color crystals, but because they got an AB finish, they got like a little bit of a pink tint to them, so that I think they go really nice together. Again, something like this, what's great about this, that you can wear it with all sorts of different colors. Oops, and I'm dropping them. Next one is the moss agate, which is this one, and I added green to this one. If I have to choose one of them as Christmassy, probably this one is the most Christmassy color in there, actually, with the green crystals, the green beads, and the moss agate. So it's very interesting because, again, you got all sorts of different colors. You got some olives coming through, you got like tealy colors coming through, some lighter. And this is what about gemstones, because they're natural materials, they're always going to have that little bit of color going and coming on. The next one is the obsidian, which is all black. Now I actually, this one has been made up, but I have slightly changed this one because and I just didn't have time to make up another one. And I have to say thank you for Brand, Addison and Lyndon to helping me to make up the samples. But actually with this one you get frosted seed beads, so it will really show the crystals and the obsidian gemstone beads up with them. The shiny seed beads are nice, but with the frosted one it looks even nicer. So that's what you're getting. You're getting the frosted one in that kit. Next one is the picture Jasper. Again, a very nice neutral colors there for you. I really do love I love Jaspers as well. Very natural purple fluorite. So this is more purple than the fluorite we had before. There is less sort of greeny metallic colors coming through, more purpley. So I stayed with the purples for seed beads and the crystals here, but I dialed it down a little bit. So what I mean about dialing down, that it's a tanzanite seed bead. So they are purple, but they have got a hint of gray in them, and so was the crystals as well. So by doing that, like dialing down the color on the seed bead and the crystals, what we're doing is enhancing the color of the gemstones, so they look brighter next to them in a way. Next one is the serpentine. Oh, I love this one. I might demo with this one. This one would go really nice with my top, don't you think? I think that would be a perfect to go with this top. I love this gemstone because, and I'm gonna try to bring it up as close as I can. It will focus in for me. There's just so much pattern in each one of those gemstone beads. They're just so much pattern. I've chosen like the brown iris seed beads and more of sort of a creamy goldy crystals with it to kind of really bring out that green. But when you look at those green beads, there are veins in them, and in the veins are sort of like a dark brown, almost black color. But if I put the black seed beads next to it, it's still nice, but I think the brown just really makes it warmer, really that sort of enhances the beads themselves. Okay, next one, we only got a few more. Next one is the Snowpeak Obsidian. Again, another one of the classic ones. I wanted to keep this one pretty much grayish. Again, it goes with everything. You can wear it with your blacks, whites, grey tops, anything really along those lines. Very sort of a neutral color. Next one is, and I always butcher the name of this one, Chrysocolla. I love this one. I love the colors on so rich. The teals, the turquoises, there's a dark blue color in there as well. I love this one. This one is probably one of my other favorites, but they were my favorites. And I chosen sort of a dark aqua color seed beads with this one and a tealy crystals. I love this one. So rich colors, but it's not too rich that it's overtaking. So just sort of the right. Next one is the tiger eye, which I showed you before. So that's the normal tiger eye. We had the blue tiger eye earlier. Then we got turquoise highlight, lighter colors. Now this one actually, I was thinking to put more sort of browny seed beads in there, because in there, and you can't really see it, but again there is loads of veins on these crystals, so I could have taken it that way, but then like I really like these seed beads. I really like these aqua seed beads to go with it. I think they would. This is the thing, when you play around with colors, one color will sort of take the bracelet towards one way and the other color will take it to another way. Next one is the white highlight. So with the turquoise highlight, and then we have got the white highlight. Again, you can't really see the veins. If I take it down, maybe you can see the veins better. I love it. So I just wanted to add a hint of sort of gray seed beads with this one, but I added darker crystals in the middle, so it kind of really lifts it up and pulls it together. Next one is the white onyx, which is this one. I added blue with this one. It looks very summery as well. I know we're going in the winter, but it looks very summery, but it can be quite icy as well, depending on what you're wearing with it. Yellow jade is last but not least. I love this one again. Very sort of the crystals are probably the darkest color in the whole bracelet, which is kind of gives you that focal point in the middle, and then a creamy, very light creamy color seed beads and the yellow jade beads. Right, what did we leave out here? Or was this our sample piece? That is the Mossagate, isn't it? So yeah, that's a mustard gate. So must have had 2 of those made up. Right, okay, so I'm just gonna grab one out and I'm gonna start demo with it. There's so much to choose. There's so much to choose from. I am gonna go, because I said this would go nicely with my top, so I'm gonna go with and I'm gonna zoom in. There we go. I'm gonna go with the moss agate. It's not moss, is it moss agate? The serpentine. I'm talking about, I'm talking rubbish already, and it's only like 10:30. Yolanda's saying, I'm going to need another job. I love them all. They are 10% off on them this week, and then they will be go up to normal price. Just like, you know, think about it, to doing it for Christmas. I think it's a really great, they are really great presents. I love handmade presents because it's the thought that counts. It's like, you know, when somebody buys you a piece of cake, and I'm just gonna have to go and grab my threads because they're all the way on the other side. When somebody buys you a piece of cake, you like, oh, this is nice, and you feel like treated, and like, you know, you're really enjoying it. But when somebody actually goes to the trouble to bake a cake for you, I think that's fantastic. Like, that's, for me, is the ultimate sort of maybe love showing to the other person, because you not just gonna go out and pop into a shop and buy one, but you actually go to the trouble to making one. And I think it's exactly the same. So for example, if you're going around to someone's for dinner, and then you actually make the dessert, you don't just buy it. I mean, the dessert has to be good. We have to agree on that. The dessert has to be good, but it's exactly the same with jewelry as well. I think if you make something, it's just a little bit extra special. Really, really sort of like, I feel like, you know, it's the time investment. What I'm gonna do, I just threaded my needle, and I'm gonna hold my needle and I'm gonna pull it through my nail, just sort of to get rid of if it's a little bit, and it's spinning around. So I know it was a little bit twisted, and I always do that a couple of times just to get rid of any twists in the thread. And by doing that, what you do is less likely that your thread is going to knot. That's why we're doing it. Right, okay. So we're gonna get started. We need all 3 materials out straight away. So you're gonna need your gemstones, you're gonna need your seed beads, size 11 seed beads, and you're gonna need your crystals as well. And we're gonna start with sort of a figure of 8, and then we're gonna step by step, we're gonna add to it. People appreciate more when it's handmade. Absolutely, Yolanda. I hope I said your name right. I'm so bad because I want to read out things quickly, and like sometimes I have to stop and think about how what people's name. I'm sorry, but the light is so strong on my face. I'm so sorry, but I need to sort my lighting out. Right, okay, so I'm gonna start by picking up a gemstone, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick up 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna pick up a crystal. I'm gonna pick up another 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. Just take this down. I'm going to pick up another gemstone and another 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I got a gemstone, 3 seed beads, crystal, 3 seed bead, gemstone, 3 seed beads. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back towards my tail. So my tail is here. I haven't cut my bobbin off. And I'm going to go back through the crystal itself. There we go. So I just trapped the bead on there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up another 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to come from my tail end. So my tail end here, I'm going to come through this gemstone. So I'm just creating sort of an 8 there. Now you could knot your thread and your tail end together because the gemstones traditionally they do have larger holes, so you would be able to hit the thread there. However, what I like to do, I just sort of run around one more time, so then I'm strengthening my sort of base unit here, and not running the risk of that the neighbor, I think they're having something done in the garden, and they just have the, I don't even know what machine is it, they just turned it on, and I don't think you can hear it, but I can sort of kind of hear it because it's just on the other side of this window, I think. But I'm hoping it's not distracting you. They cut, it's definitely a cutter, so maybe, I don't know, what can it be? So I'm just going to run around one more time. So I've got a nice strong base here. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more actually for you. There we go. Right, so we have got our base. We went around one more time so we have it nice and secure. Just pull this up nice and tight. I'm just going to wrap the end around my finger there so I can kind of suspend my work right here in front of me. So from now on, what we're going to be doing is we're either going to be adding a middle or we're going to be adding the sides. Now I have got two sides. I can see I have got a nice X in between them. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm gonna come through the very first seed bead. So I'm going to continue through the very first seed beads, and I kind of flip-flop my work backwards and forwards. I like to stitch away from myself. So I came through the very first seed bead. I'm going to pick up two seed beads. I'm going to pick up a crystal and another two seed beads, and I'm going to cross over to the other side. So I want to go out on the very last seed beads. Can only hear you. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I'm going to go out on that very last seed bead. There we go. So I started my second unit. And what we're going to be doing from here, we're going to pick up one gemstone and we're going to pick up 3 seed beads. Do let me know in the chat if this is improving or what's happening here. I'm going to turn my unit around so I can stitch away from me. And I'm going to go through just the crystal in the middle, just like that. So I'm kind of adding the next gemstone in. And then here, I'm going to pick up in reverse what I just picked up. So I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, then a gemstone, and I'm going to come in on that very first seed bead, just on the edge of the last unit. And with that, I completed my sort of second unit on my bracelet. Now there's 2 ways. What we need to do now, then there's 2 ways we can get there, is you need to be able to come out of this seed bead right here on the other side, so we can add the middle bit again. Now we can either go in the unit we just added, or we can travel through the previous unit. It doesn't really matter which way you go. I like to go into the previous unit because then that is just sewing the 2 units together even more. So I kind of just go down in the middle to the crystal. There we go. And then I'm going to come along, back out. So I just went sort of half of the X of the first unit. I'm going to go into the gemstone. Oh, so he's saying, sorry, I meant I can't hear next door, watching you and enjoying, oh, thank you. And so I came through the gemstone, and I'm going to go up the very first bead. It sent me in a little bit of a panic there, so it was like, oh my God, what's happening? Never mind, we carry on. So, filling in the middle, 2 seed bead, crystal, 2 seed bead, and then going all the way to the other side, stitching through the last seed bead, pulling it through. I'm going to turn it again. I'm going to let the end go now. I'm just hold on to my beadwork. I'm picking up 1 gemstone, 3 seed beads, going back through the crystal. So I'm adding one side, pulling this up nice and tight. So as you're pulling it nice and tight, if your crystal lifts away, because sometimes that can happen, and we want, oh, don't worry, sorry, that's not a problem at all. Don't worry, she's just say sorry, don't worry. I'm very easily confused, I have to say that. It's like I'm very easily distracted. I start tidying up and I still haven't finished this room. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna sort of carry on with it for the next hour. I'm just gonna I'm gonna sort out this box, and then I find some beads and was like, ooh, beads, and let's sit down and play with the beads. So I'm very easily distracted as well. So don't worry at all. It's all good. So if you find that your thread is a little bit lagging, so instead of trying to pull on the crystal, because the more you pull on the crystals now, I could run the risk that the crystal is gonna break the thread. What you need to do is just to hold on to your beadwork, hold on to the gemstone, pull the gemstone backwards, and can you see that how that movement tightens up the sort of the thread part from before? Then I'm going to hold on to the crystal as well with my thumb, so just right in there and pull my thread up. And with that, I tightened up the unit. So I'm on the other side, so 3 seed beads and a gemstone, then coming down in the single seed bead at the top, which will be between the unit we are just adding and the unit before, they sharing that seed bead. Hold on, I'm just getting, before I pull it tight, I think I'm gonna get a knot there, and I do not want a knot this morning. There we go, pull it through. Maybe a little bit more thread. Now again, I can either take the thread path of the unit I am just in or go into the previous one. I like to go into the previous one, so I'm going to turn back towards my tail, towards this crystal, and then come out through the seed beads to the other side, to the bottom side, along the gemstone, and then up the first seed bead, and we are in a position to add the next middle piece. So that's 2 seed bead, crystal, 2 seed beads, and then stitching through the top. Now if you left your bobbin on, which I did, if once I get down to a certain sort of size, and I'm gonna sort of speed bead a few more units here, and I'll show you how to attach the clasp. You can, because the way the position you started your very first unit and the way you are facing, all you need to do is just to go through that very single seed bead, and you are in position to grow your bracelet to the other side as well. So I'm just gonna speed bead quickly a few more units, so we've got something to hold on to, and then I can show you how to add the clasp. Now let me know in the chat, was this easier or harder, what you thought is going to be? Have you done this project before? Have you done this stitch before? There is a way you can do this stitch. We can do it with 2 needles, which probably gives you, if you do it with 2 needles, a little bit more control on your tension. However, so there's always an upside and a downside to everything. So however, if you do use 2 needles, what can happen is that you, like for me, not what happened, for me usually what normally happens is that my thread gets all tangled up and I'm spending more time undoing the knots. I'm spending more time trying to sort of keep my needles and thread straight rather than enjoying the thread. So if I can, I always prefer a single needle than 2 needles, but do let me know in the chat, what do you prefer? Or if you like, you know, if you're not like me and you actually like using 2 needles simultaneously. Sometimes you have to, sometimes with some techniques like you just have to, but if I can, I kind of liked my single needle. There we go. And I'm sort of keep turning it around. I'd like to stitch away from me. I find that I can keep a better tension that way. So I'm adding the middle, and then I'm adding the sides, and it's very easily it grows quite quickly because you're working with larger beads, like they are 6mm gemstone beads. Your bracelet is going to grow. Jenny's saying she prefers one needle. She said she'd love doing this, so she's looking forward to do it with the gemstones. I think like this is the thing. Well, not any pattern, because some patterns you can't, but most patterns you can kind of turn around and use different beads with it, and it will look slightly different. It will feel slightly different, maybe by just changing the size of a crystal or a bead, and it becomes different as well. So it's kind of, I think it's comforting to know, like when you've done something and you already know the pattern, but perhaps I had breakfast this morning, so I don't know why I'm keep thinking about food, but it's like, you know, when you're baking a carrot cake, and in one cake you put cinnamon in it, and in another cake you don't. So it's kind of like having that, and I'm gonna need some more gemstones. Kind of like, you know, spicing it up with different beads and different things as you go along. And I think that's the beauty in it, that you can do, you can try out all sorts of different things. But the main sort of ingredient in there, the carrot cake part, you are confident that you can do it because you did it before. So I don't know. Maybe I need to go out and have a cake today, or have a cake with my coffee. I think I might have some sticky toffee. Oh, let's see. I'm talking and I'm thinking about cake, and I picked up the beads the wrong way. Picked up the seed beads first, and I need to pick up the gemstone first. I have got sticky toffee pudding in the freezer, so I could bake that. By the way, what's your favorite cake? Let me know. Let me know. If you're talking about cake, let's talk about cake. Let's have the cake conversation now. What's your favorite cake? Let me know in the chat. I think for me, I don't know. There's just so many nice ones. Right, so I'm just going back. I'm trying to go to as many beads at the same time, so it will grow quickly. Carrot cake or lemon drizzle? Ooh, Trish, I like your style. I love a carrot cake as well. I haven't had lemon drizzle for, I don't know, a very long time. Now, coffee and walnut, Alison is saying. Kimberly is saying plaques for us, Gato. Absolutely. Cinnamon swirls for me. John is saying any cheesecake. I love a cheesecake. That's Christopher's favorite as well, is a cheesecake. Strawberry and pineapple and coconut. Ooh, that sounds really good. Even pineapple and coconut sounds really good, but if you put strawberry in the mix, that's just sounds delish. Oh, I love a carrot cake. Vinny's saying fruitcake and gingerbread. Yum. Yeah, I love fruitcakes as well, and gingerbread. Not so much. I'm not too mad on gingerbread. I do love mince pies, but I think the problem we got a huge problem with mince pies. That usually by this time, like 1st of November, most of the supermarkets, like here in the UK, start to sell mince pies. And you're like, ooh, I haven't had a mince pie for a whole year because they're not really available sort of all throughout the year. You're like, oh, let's get some, and you get some. And then next week, oh, that was really nice. Let's get some more mince pies. And I just find that all throughout, especially December, all you eating is mince pies. And by Christmas comes, it's like, no, that's it. I'm done with the mince pies now. Thank you. Love it. Right, I'm going to add one more unit, and then we're doing the clasp. I love a cheesecake. I love a carrot cake. In Hungary, we got a cake which is, it's called a cream cake, but it's kind of like, it's bitten and kind of custard, but it's more creamy. That's really, really nice. That's one of my favorite ones, all-time favorite ones. We have got one which I don't know. I do really need to get the recipe for that one, and that one is called angel bread. That's really lovely. Carrot cake for sure, but I love like carrot cakes. What I like to do, I like to make carrot cupcakes, and then I kind of freeze a few and can have it sort of later on. And with carrot cakes, I actually really love having cream cheese on the top rather than icing. I don't know what you prefer. Tiramisu is another one of my favorites. I love tiramisu. Oh my god, there's just so many. Oh my god, there's so many. Mina's saying she's doing her first Christmas fair tonight. And Christmas makes are going out on the table. Oh wow, tell us, what sort of makes are you going to be putting out? And what have you been getting ready for Christmas? It's just like, I think because the weather is being so mild this year, you kind of like think you still got like it gives you a false sense of security because you think, oh, I got loads of time to explore and do things, like explore like options for presents and do my everything else. But he is virtually around the corner. I think it's 7 weeks or something like that, somebody was saying. I don't know how many. Shall I ask Mrs. A in the room how many days we have got until Christmas? I'm gonna do it. Alexa, how many days until Christmas?
Christmas is in 54 days, on Monday the 25th of December 2023. Santa has a little message for you.
Ho, ho, ho. It's the 1st of November, my second favorite month. Of course, my favorite month is December. Not long now.
Oh, that is
back
so.
tomorrow for another Christmas update.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you.
Play the mince pie song.
No, thank you, Alexa. Okay. She's gonna. That was really cute. 56 days until Christmas. Good luck, me. Marich is saying, I got my beaded candles, wreaths, hearts, and Christmas jewelry. Even got a miracle bead tree earring ready. Oh, bless. A weekend snow here in Michigan. Oh wow, I love snow. I really do love snow. Ready for the winter. I can deal with the cold, but not with the wet stuff. I in the winter when it's like there is so peaceful about it when you have got snow everywhere and you just sort of a blanket and everything. I just need to grab a clasp. I obviously recently moved and everything is sort of setting up and everything is on like, you know, I'm getting there with it, but there is just so much to set up, and I kind of like need to I need to move things around, so when I need them, they're there. So I'm just grabbing gloves. Oh, Denise is saying, I have set Mrs. A. I'm not gonna say the name because she's always listening. I set Mrs. A is answering you. Oh, bless. Right, okay, so clasp. What we're gonna do about the clasp? So any bracelet of what we make here, so obviously the kit comes with these beautiful 2-loop clasp. We could have gone to a single point and just put a toggle on it. However, I think when we have a bracelet which is more sort of a flatter stitch, it's really nice to keep it flat, because if we just put one toggle on there, what sometimes happens is that the bracelets sort of start to turn around and you kind of like get a kink in it. Mine just did the same and you said her name. Oh, bless. I'm not gonna say her name. Just gonna sort of keep quiet. I started to call her Mrs. A because she doesn't answer for that one. But we know that we're talking about her then. Probably she knows we're talking about her, even if I say that. Never mind. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna attach the clasp right here. So I like to use sort of a flatter clasp, and whenever I design anything or do anything like this, what I like to do is just to pop it down on my mat, put the clasp right next door to it, and then kind of see which beads the loop on the clasp want to connect, because sometimes these loops are a little bit further apart, sometimes they're sort of closer, but it's really nice to kind of just put it down. Have I got another one? Okay, I haven't got time to go down on the rabbit hole, but sometimes the clasps can be a little bit further apart. So what we're gonna do is, as I'm coming out of that bead just over there, the last gemstone bead, I'm gonna go through the next seed beads, same as like I would be adding another middle section, but this time I'm not going to be adding a middle section. Got my clasp here. What I'm gonna be doing is I just take my needle through the loop, any loop, it doesn't really matter at this point, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go sorry, not back. I'm gonna travel in the next 2 seed bead and crystal and pull this up and add the next 2 seed bead, just the 2 seed beads. No, I'm not going through the third one yet, and pull this up nice and tight. And now I'm just gonna sort of rotate my clasp so it sits the right way and come through the other loop on the same side, and then exit out there. Now what I like to do, I like to go around and repeat this again, so to have like a couple of connections on the clasp. So if I'm making it for myself, that's what I like to do, is to strengthen it. So I'm gonna go down, and you can either, again, whichever unit you want to cross over, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna go into that single bead. I can go into the previous unit if I want, or I can go through the unit, very top unit. There we go. Then I'm gonna go up through the seed bead, oops, and back to my starting point. Now let's say I did this already, so I did the same thing, went through the single seed bead, through the loop, went to the next side, through the loop, and back, and I'm back to I have to come back to the starting point one more time, because what I want to do here is I want to add, so I love this 2 loop clasp, and let me just pick one up here. I love this 2 loop clasp, but what I actually don't like to see, I don't like to see the loops on the clasp. I like to sort of cover them up. Come on, focus on me. I like to cover them up with seed beads. Probably that's not dark enough. Let's choose another one. This one's got darker seed beads on there. I like to cover the loops up with those with the seed beads themselves. I think just makes it a little bit nicer. And what I did in this one, so what you actually can do, you can only cover up one side, but if you actually cover up both sides, just add an extra 4 beads into the loops, then your bracelet is going to be like, you can wear it in both ways, so it doesn't really matter how you are done. They're not going to be a front or front or back to the bracelet. So as I'm coming out of that single seed bead, I'm just going to go ahead and well, you're going to have to, I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, and I'm going to take the 4 seed beads down, because depending on how far the loops on your clasp, 4 seed beads usually the right amount, but sometimes you might have to add a 5th one in if the loops were sort of further apart. And once again, just as I got the 4 seed beads on there, and I'm just going to exit out on that seed bead on the other side, and take this back around one more time, and then you can add another loop onto the other side as well, so you cover your sides on both sides, and that's it really to the bracelet. I can continue this one on the other side because I still got my bobbin attached there, so I can sort of bead in until I have my right amount right amount of beads on my bracelet. If your stitching was really loose, you can sort of cross up and down all the way down, come back on yourself and go back up just in the seed beads themselves. So the 2 seed beads up, 2 seed beads down, 2 seed beads up, 2 seed beads down. That's not in the instructions, but that's something I always suggest, that you can create an extra thread path just in a seed beads to pull the bracelet together a little bit if you need to, because we not all have my tension usually is tighter tension, so certain stitches I excel with because you need a tight tension, but where you have to have loose tension in certain projects, like I can struggle as well. So if you are more of a loose beader, you can always take steps to tighten it up at the end. Right, okay, so I'm gonna grab these. I just love these, all these bracelets, all these gemstones. Which one is your favorite? Do let me know which one is your favorite color or which one is your favorite gemstone. If you got any questions, quickly put a Q in front of it so I can answer it for you. How many bracelets from one kit, as I missed what you said earlier? So the kit has 2 clasps in it, so it is able to make two bracelets. However, it's the size of the bracelets. But then it says it makes 1 bracelet. I don't I don't know. So when I put these ones together, it was, let me just count. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna count the beads for you. It was quite a few months ago when I put it on there, and usually we have sort of, let me just take the ad from behind, clear instructions on what we're doing. But I think, like, I just got, when I see the website, it said makes 1 this morning, I was like kind of like doubting myself, and I'm getting caught up with the thread now. Right, okay, so let me just quickly count. 20. I got 56 beads on this bracelet, and that is probably just over 8" because it's my size. And on a strand of gemstones, you do get, I'm going to count one of the strands as well, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 65. So it does make 1 bracelet. So I don't know. I'm very quickly gonna go and check with Simon, like what's going on with this one, or maybe it was a typo from him. It does make 1 kit, will make you 1 bracelet. However, if you add another strand of gemstones or any other gemstones in the kit, and it's not gonna focus on it very well, you're gonna have, like, that's the crystals I got left, like almost a whole strand of crystals. You hardly use any of the crystals. I think there's 200 crystals on there, and you hardly use any crystals of the strands, and the seed beads as well. So if you got any other 6mm bead at home, the pattern will work with it. So if you got 6mm pearl or crystals, you're gonna have loads of crystals and seed beads left in the kit, so you can make more with it. How long does it take to deliver to the USA? It depends what part you are, and it depends on the post as well. So I wouldn't like to say. Usually it's about a week. It does get there. Will you be doing any creative creation stations again? Yes, I will. So the plan is, I moved recently, 6 weeks ago or so now, maybe less. It's kind of really, the time just runs away, but I'm still setting it up. So as you can see behind me, and I'm gonna change them. Oh no, wrong one. That's the instructions. Hang on. Why am I still sharing the screen there? Let's just take that down. Okay, 1 sec. Pressing all the buttons. There we go. So as you see behind me there, I got another shelf to come along on the top of that radiator, like a table shelf for there, and I'm gonna have more units there as well. So I'm still trying to settle in, and there is so many there's so many things to do still. There is I don't know, like moving is, they say it's I think moving is exactly the same as having a child. There is something inside your brain what makes you forget how much actual work is it, because otherwise we would be never be moving ever again. But it's just there's just so much thing to set up, and if it's not one thing, it's another thing, and it's like waiting for things. I need like a curtain. Um, a roller blind for the window there. I've been waiting for that for a week, and like all sorts of different things. So once I'm set up, which I'm hoping by the end of November, everything will be sort of not in the house because that's gonna take a few months, but in this room everything will be set up, and then I've really enjoyed our creation station sessions. I can start back up and doing them again, but at the moment I just want to kind of sort of in the evenings, I'm not joking, I'm there until actually last night was the first evening we sat down to watch a movie, but in the evenings like I'm there until 9 p.m 10 p.m trying to sort things out, unpacking things. I still got probably about 40-50 boxes to go through. It's just so much. It's just so much with everyday life, but it will be starting back up again very, very soon. But I will let you know. Jenny's saying, I moved last year, never again. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like, yeah, definitely not, not least, not 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years. I'm not moving. It takes time. It really does take time to set everything up. And I honestly, probably it's me as well, but some of the kitchen cupboards are unpacked it 3 times because I got more stuff to go in and I don't want to fit in. No rush, getting settled first after years. Oh, thank you. It will be good. I'll be back. I really want to be back, and I got plans to do some other stuffs as well. But I just kind of is somebody said to me once that you need to give the time to yourself, and I think that's kind of like what I'm doing. I need to give this time, like maybe this year, to myself to be able to get sorted, and then I can be more productive, because otherwise I'm just like jumping from one thing to another, which I'm still kind of like doing a little bit, but yeah, but it's all good. I'm really, really happy here, and we close to town, so we can just walk in. The kids love it too. Yeah. Can we think? I know moving is hard. I moved over 10 times as a force. Is like, yeah, I can imagine. But I think, Camille, when you did that, like, I bet, but after the second or third or fourth time, you were like a pro. You were like, knew exactly like what to put where, what to, like, you know, how to unpack, how to pack. It really, I think, teaches you a lot of skills as well when you have to move that many times. Even harder to moving from the UK to overseas, absolutely, when you have to sort of back up and arrange and get things shipped and taking things. But I think that's really admirable. You must be a seasoned pro, as they say, in moving. Maybe I should have had you over when I was moving to organize my stuff. Yeah, right. Okay, I better run. I'm doing the bead club today, so we'll be doing these little. Well, we're not just going to be doing earrings, but we're going to play with arc beads. Actually, this matches my top as well, this color. We're going to making little pendants and little things to link them together. So I'm going to be there from 12. Everybody have a beautiful day tomorrow. I'll be back on Friday morning as Natalie's away, so stepping in for her. And what am I doing? I think we're doing Christmas wreaths on Friday. So I'll see you on Friday morning at 10 a.m. Oh, this thing, you've done so much this year. You will get there. We all love you. Oh, I love you too. I love everybody. And it's just so, like, I'm so humbled that, like, everybody's keep turning up and keep following and keep encouraging me. I really do, like, get so much strength from you to keep on going. Right, everybody, have a good day. I see you on Friday morning, and keep on beading, keep on crafting. See you.